Son?
A little bit too close, Magic.
Put me in, Magic.
Do you invite the whole league?
Are you ready to kick it?
I'm ready to kick it.
Freeze doesn't look ready to me.
I'm ready to kick it.
See you there.
Major League Soccer returns this weekend to Fox with FC Cincinnati and Atlanta United, Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And joining us now to talk about the start of the MLS season, former U.S. men's national team midfielder and Fox's lead match analyst, Stu Holden, with us here on First Things First Overtime. Stu, we very much appreciate your time. Obviously, we should start with the champs, with Messi, Inter Miami. I don't know if anyone can slow him down. What say you?
Wait, who? Messi? Who's that? Oh, yeah, just the
I've heard of him.
the greatest player that's ever played the game, that has just lit MLS on fire, as if we expect anything different since he's joined the league. I mean, they didn't win it his first year. They lost in the playoffs. Messi was a little bit banged up. This last year, he was far from banged up. In fact, he was on another level. 35 goals in 34 games. That's pretty good. I'm not really good at math, guys, but that means that was a goal every game, and that's a very good stat. Then they went on and they won the title. And look, they're the favorites, as you would expect, to defend that title. I was down there in Miami calling that game live on Fox, and they just ran away with it. They're stacked with talent, and in fact, they've actually even loaded up with some new talent. Some of their older veteran players have retired. They brought in some younger guys. Bertarame they had signed from Mexico. So as you say, the rich get richer, but Jorge Massa, you can see there, and David Beckham, their ownership has said, look, we're not stopping here. We're going to keep pushing, and they are by far and away the biggest favorite. But as we know with MLS, it's not as easy to do it in the regular season and to repeat as champs. We've only had a couple of repeat champs in this league, so I'm interested to see in a World Cup year if they can maintain that momentum.
Well, Stu, we know what Messi brings to the table, but what player would you tell us to be looking out for this year in MLS?
One of the fun trends in MLS over the recent years is there's some real stars in this league now. And one that I have loved watching, who came the middle of last season, was Son Heung-Min, who plays here in LA for LAFC. And he and Denny Bouanga, who's an MLS former MVP, Golden Boot winner, top goal scorer, the two of them have formed a really great partnership. So make sure you watch Son more this year. He scored some free kicks. He's lightning quick in the transition. He's also super motivated because he'll be playing in a World Cup with South Korea, and they were drawn in Mexico's group. So that's going to be a lot of fun for him playing games here in North America. And then, Greg, I know you're a Minnesota guy, man. James Rodríguez.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, look, man.
There's a lot of excitement surrounding
right.
James.
You got the Colombian superstar who turns it on every time he plays for Colombia. Ends up signing for Minnesota United, which, look, no disrespect to Minnesota United, but over their history, they haven't signed a player of this type of caliber. No. And it was kind of a little bit of a head scratcher for some of us, but what a statement of intent for Minnesota, and so cool to have a player like James Rodríguez who will be playing in MLS this year.
Stu, obviously, it's a World Cup year. We're all counting down the days. It's hanging over the whole soccer world. It's going to be the biggest event possible. Which U.S. men's national team players are you most looking forward to watching in the MLS this season?
Yeah, I actually think, guys, that this could be one of the heaviest MLS rosters that we've seen from a World Cup perspective. I go back to when I played in the World Cup, as Alexi used to say, way back in yonder years. In 2010, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 MLS players on that final roster. I think you could see up to 10 guys at least on this 26-man roster. The starting goalkeeper, Matt Freese, I'm a big fan of. He plays for New York City FC, and he, I think, will be the starting goalie for the U.S. He's a young and rising star. You've got Miles Robinson, who's a defender for FC Cincinnati. So there will be a big MLS DNA as part of this team. Sebastian Berhalter from Vancouver. You've got guys that I'm interested to see how they fill out the roster, but it's pretty cool to know that a lot of these guys will be playing in your backyard that will also, I hope for their sake, make the World Cup roster and have that opportunity to represent their country in a home World Cup, because it's going to be amazing. This is truly MLS starting is kind of the beginning of the ramp up for us in the soccer world and what we know is going to be our biggest year yet.
So, Stu, you mentioned James, obviously the signing for the Minnesota United. There's a lot of excitement there, but what team, they've improved over the last 3 years. They're inching up in the West every single year. Which team do you expect to kind of be the team that just rises to the top this year?
You know, I do like Minnesota. They lost their coach from last year. He's gone over to England, but they've made some really good enforcements. Cameron knows their coach, has been a part of that organization for a while. It's a really well-run organization, Greg, so you should be very proud of your Minnesota boys over there. They're a ton of fun to watch. I'm excited again to see San Diego. San Diego last year was an expansion team. It was their first ever year in the league, and they get to the Western Conference Finals. They were up there in the mix for some of the teams in the best record in the league. So I've got San Diego once again to be a team that I think is not just going to be a good team, but can contend for a title. And I know it feels like a little bit of a cop-out to make a surprise run, but I'm thinking like this is a team that could win a championship, and to win a championship in MLS is very hard. So that would mean a new champion for the first time.
So obviously, again, we're excited for the MLS starting up tomorrow, but the World Cup is going to impact every soccer league around the world. We know there's going to be a break in May. What is the impact on the World Cup on MLS in terms of what fans should be expecting?
Hey, guys, we've been talking about this World Cup for 15 years.
Is that all?
I mean, yeah, at least, right? Coming back to North America, this is going to be not just the biggest soccer event. It's going to be the biggest sporting event the world has ever seen. And MLS is making sure, look, it's taking an early break. It's going to take a break all the way through till right before the final, which is July 19th. So a lot of players, not just American players, but a lot of international players will be playing in the World Cup. So you're going to see these players that play for Atlanta, Cincinnati, Miami, Philly will all be representing their countries. But it is a moment where all of us, anybody touch point to soccer in this country, has to make sure we're doing everything we can to try to make new fans. Those fans that come, keep them involved in the game. The last men's World Cup that we hosted in this country was 1994. That's a long time ago. The league didn't even exist back then. This league was born off the back of that World Cup. So I'm excited to see what the circus leaves here, because we all know the circus comes to town in the World Cup, but I want to make sure that we have a continued thriving soccer economy here in the U.S. once that World Cup is done.
All right, Stu, you got to give us a bold prediction and don't back out.
Yeah, I know. See, these ones are hard to quantify. Like, what makes it bold? So, you know, Inter Miami, if I pick them to win, that wouldn't be a bold
prediction.
That
is not bold.
No, that is exactly.
No, I'm going to give you a bold prediction is that we're going to see a new champion in MLS for the first time ever. I'm going to go with FC Cincinnati. They have been a team that has been pushing so close. I don't think they made the playoffs the first 4 seasons they were in MLS. They've been getting better every year. I think this could be their year. So I'm going to pick a new champion this time, and it's going to be FC Cincinnati.
And, of course, they play tomorrow to kick off the season.
I tried to tee you up, Stu, and you swung and missed. I was looking for a specific answer.
Yeah, 4:30 Eastern. Make sure you watch it.
Stu, great stuff. We can't wait to watch you. It's going to be a very exciting season, and we appreciate always your time here for us at First Things First. Thank you, Stu.
Thanks, boys. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.